What is up, y'all? It's your girl, Brand New, and honey, I am back in the building. This time, honey, I'm back because we have a couple of women, honey, that have recently spoken to YouTuber Miss Tasha K, and they allege, honey, that Miss Sabrina, look at me, can't even get her damn name together. Miss Sabrina Peterson is, she crazy, okay? I think a lot of us, have heard that about Miss Sabrina Peterson, honey. They saying that, one of them particularly said that she practices witchcraft and she be dealing with voodoo dolls. I said, voodoo, oh my God, okay? The lady says that, Sabrina Peterson is evil. I've also heard these same things from YouTuber Michelle Brown. Not so much the voodoo stuff, but I've heard that she's crazy and out of her head and, a complete whack job, honey. She weird, honey. She strange, okay? And we also heard from Miss Shekinah Joe that Sabrina Peterson used to screw T.I. and Tiny, and she wanted Tiny to be her woman. Isn't all of that interesting, honey? But yeah, let's get to the interview, honey. Miss Robinson had her popcorn and her gummy bears, and honey, I was just taking, the interview that Tasha K did all in, honey. It was good, honey. I ain't wanted to stop. Okay, so let me play that, you guys, and I will be in and out with my commentary.
I guess more blunt, she involved herself in her best friend's internet beef with Sabrina Peterson.
Right.
And so let me just give a little backstory before we jump into how you fit in, okay? So T.I. and Tiny, T.I. gets called out by Sabrina Peterson. She says, T.I. held a gun to my head, and she tags Keisha Lance Bottoms and says, you should not be affiliated with someone, I guess, who acts violently towards women or something like that. I can't remember her post to quote. And she begins to proceed with posting about 38 supposed victims that have been raped or violated by T.I. and Tiny. So what turned what was supposed to be a post to, I guess, shed light on, protecting women, protecting black women, turned into something more.
Right.
Shekinah Joe, you are pretty close with her, yes, who is Tiny's best friend, chimed in, and I would say it didn't look too good for T.I. and Tiny, because when I heard Shekinah Joe state that Sabrina Peterson, who got this campaign rolling, had in fact recruited girls for T.I. and Tiny. So how could you, I guess, be trying to save victims and you put supposed victims in this situation, is how we got here. Now, Shekinah has since retracted that statement because, as I told her when we spoke, it didn't look too good, because if the allegations were true, best friend comes out, states, oh, Sabrina had sex with them too. Sabrina recruited girls as well.
Right.
So it kind of blew things up. Whereas I think if she would have just allowed it to simmer away, it would have gone away, because technically no victims have actually came forward. This is all from Sabrina's page, Sabrina Peterson, and it's just really coincidental that 38 victims come to you, and there are several blogs that are posting on this, and so I was really suspicious about that. And then, of course, T.I. did post some fake stories that were intentionally sent to her on purpose to disarm her.
Right.
Now, really quickly, you guys, do you guys feel like this is fake? Like Sabrina Peterson is purposely trying to set T.I. and Tiny up? Okay, we're gonna hear from, is it this girl or it's another girl coming after this one that Tasha is talking to? She says that she believes that Sabrina Peterson is the 38 girls, okay? This situation is crazy because it seems like every week it's getting worse. More and more girls are coming out saying that, you know, T.I. and Tiny allegedly drugged them and had sex with them. But my mind works a little bit differently. I'm always concerned about when I hear things. Why didn't I hear of any of this when T.I. and Tiny were broken up? You know, they did spend some time, some years ago, away from each other. Why didn't we hear that then? Now it's, you know, now that, you know, they're back together. They done had another little daughter. They got their family hustle show. You know, they're doing things in the world. I believe a lot of this transpired when T.I. was trying to do some political things with Keisha Lance Bottom. So I'm just, you know, I've always been very suspicious of all of that. I'm not one of these people, and it's a lot of women in the world that operate like this. They have a lot of trauma from their own life, so, you know, they can't wait to get on the bandwagon and be like, yeah, T.I. and Tiny did this. And I don't think that you guys, they have the healthiest relationship from what I see, but I can't say that these people are rapists and, you know, they drugging people, because I'm just trying to put two and two together. Like, why would you ever be in the same room with these celebrities and you don't know that you what you gonna be drinking on, you don't know what you may be smoking on or taking, or, and then you have sex with them. That, all of that, it just don't look good to me. I'm not trying to victim shame anybody. Please don't get in my damn comments with that, because that ain't what I'm doing. That ain't what I'm about. But we also, you guys, we have to take responsibility for our actions and putting ourselves in certain situations. And Sabrina Peterson has always looked sketchy to me. Okay? That's just what, like, none of this makes sense to me. It seems like a story that just grew and grew, and, oh, he put a gun to my head. Why didn't you call the police? Why is it being reported years later? I just never could understand any of that. If anybody has ever raped me, stolen my vehicle, I've actually had my car stolen before. I didn't wait 3 and 4 months, 3 and 4 years later, you know, and I know that that's a bit, you know, those two things are different. Putting a gun up to somebody's head is a big deal versus, you know, getting a car stolen. But I'm just saying, make it make sense. We all have to report things when they are happening. And to me, people don't report things when they are happening because they're okay with what's happening in the moment. And then all of a sudden they fall out with you, get mad at you, wait for Mad Day, and then want to report that you such an awful and bad person. Like, do you see what I'm saying? I have always questioned Sabrina Peterson's logic. I do. Or any of these other victims. It just, alleged victims will say, I never understood it. Like, I don't know, y'all. I'm going to let the interview play some more, and then I will be in and out again with my commentary.
And to kind of let the world know that, you know, please proceed with caution when it comes to these allegations. Now, Willie, Shekinah Joe stated that you told her that she didn't know for sure if that was true. She had never seen Sabrina, I guess, have sex or be intimate with T.I. and Tiny. So she shouldn't have spoke on that because it was hearsay. And she expressed to me that she got the story from you. So how do you know Sabrina Peterson?
Well, Sabrina and I was friends like, I would say over 15 years.
Wow.
When I moved here, I met Sabrina and...
To Atlanta?
To Atlanta.
Okay.
And later on, I met Shekinah. Me and Shekinah worked together, which Shekinah used to be an assistant at a salon I worked downtown. And we became friends. Sabrina and I was already friends. Actually, I worked at her salon in Decatur. And we got pretty close. We spent a lot of time together until we we're no longer friends.
Wow. So what happened? Like, I mean, I guess what was the initial start of the friendship like? And we're talking about Sabrina now. I'm sorry, because I did ask you about Shekinah. Like, how did you and Sabrina become so close to where she would, I guess, tell you such intimate details about supposed or alleged relations between T.I. and Tiny?
Mm-hmm. Well, we started off pretty close. We spent a lot of time together, going out eating, to the gym. We basically did everything together. We was together every day for a while. Sabrina's the kind of person, and I always tell people her good is great. Like, but when you get to that bad point, it gets really bad. So we were pretty close.
Could you give us some examples on how her good is good and her bad is really bad?
Well, I mean, Sabrina, she is like, as when we were friends, I can say she did a lot of stuff, good stuff for me.
Okay.
Even, I spent a lot of time in her home. Like, Sabrina's the kind of friend, if you're friends with her, she wants you around all the time. It's never a moment without her. Like,
okay,
you're constantly involved with her.
Okay.
And I'm pretty much, sometimes I like my alone time being by myself. Sabrina's the kind of person, she's gonna pop up. She might all of a sudden want to go stay at a hotel for the month, and we'll all go. I know for her birthday one year, we stayed at the hotel for like a whole month straight. Went home for like a day, and then she'd be like, okay, let's go back to the hotel. Like, she's like that. She's fun, very fun. I had a lot of fun with her, I must say, but when it ended.
Now, explain to me some of her bad characteristics, like, besides what's going on right now online.
Her bad characteristic is bullying and lying.
Okay.
It's her bad characteristic.
Let's fast forward to, because I know you've known her for a very long time. You've been close to her. Let's talk about T.I. pulling a gun on her. When did you first hear of this situation from Sabrina, or did you ever hear about it?
I did.
Okay.
Actually, the day that happened, she called me, like right after that happened. And I can say she's not lying about that. I remember she did tell me that happened. She explained to me that her and the assistant got into a fight, and he pulled the gun on her. And during the time after that, I think T.I. had an album come out, and one of the songs she let me hear, she said, was about her. And she did say this. I mean, everybody that know about this years ago, she did mention this years ago. Like, it was, I think at the time it was on M Street, on Marietta Street, because her and Tamika had a townhouse. Sabrina had a townhouse, and Tamika had a townhouse in the same area. It was like next door to each other, if I'm not mistaken. And it was during that time we were all spending Sabrina would spend a lot of time with them, and then me and her would spend a lot of time. When I never was around them all together. It was very a few times I was around them. I can remember being around. Only time I remember being around T.I. and with her, it was during Sabrina's birthday, and Tamika and Sabrina had picked me up from my place downtown. And I remember T.I. came over. It was there was the day of one of our mutual friends was having Sabrina a birthday dinner. This was back when Jermaine Dupree restaurant was open. Mm-hmm. She was having a birthday dinner, and I think they were filming the movie ATL. It's been that long.
Wow, that was a while ago.
What was your impression of T.I. and Tiny when you met them?
My impression, I really didn't. Seeing them together, it wasn't in a situation where they were like all close. Of course, he was right there on her. I think I curled her hair that day. We we was preparing for Sabrina's birthday dinner that night when our friend was having her birthday dinner. It's been so long ago, but she was like, Sabrina is like, it was like a brotherly thing with him around her. It wasn't like no relationship type of stuff.
Okay.
I never witnessed the relationship that was like way past me.
Okay. Let's talk about the gun situation now. She calls you, T.I. pulled a gun on my head. I was fighting Tiny's assistant, and this happened. Now, from what I was told, the gun came out because she was beating the assistant to the point where if, I guess, he would have put hands on her, it would have been an issue. So, and it's kind of a catch-22 situation, whereas how could you be beating someone to the point where no one can get you off of this person? And, you know, what else can they do? And I guess him being a public figure, I guess it would have looked bad if he had jumped in it between two women. And so I guess he did what he thought was the right thing. So it's kind of like two wrongs don't make a right per se. But go ahead.
I don't think he was wrong for, he couldn't put his hands on her, and I think that's in any situation. If something is going on here between us, if we can't stop, nobody can do anything physical. The only thing somebody do is to pull a gun. Both of us is going to pay attention to the gun.
Mm-hmm. You're right.
You know?
It's like shooting a gun in the air, like, wow, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And I know how.
But why y'all didn't call the police? Well, we got T.I. T.I. think he the police, honey. That's why he pulled that gun out. Okay.
Probable, like, this is the same girl that got into a fight in the church.
The church?
Yeah, she went to school.
Y'all hear that? Sabrina is fighting up in the church, honey, okay?
Like, she did a lot of stuff. Like,
what happened at the church?
She got into a fight. It was at Reverend Mace's church. She got into a fight.
Not at Mace's church. Oh, no. Mace that used to be with Diddy, honey?
I'm not the person.
At the church, like during service?
During service.
So
prayer.
Instead of listening, they fight.
Yeah. I think Sabrina told me that the girl, they was having issues. They fought before. Sabrina said that they were praying and she had bowed her head and she looked up at the girl and the girl like bucked her eyes at her. They started fighting in the church.
I'm going to have to call Mace and ask him about that fight. Yeah. Look, I want to know. I got to say, there are videos of Sabrina online even threatening Shekinah Joe. A few years back.
I don't understand her beef with Shekinah really, because it was Sabrina and I was friends, and me and Shekinah was friends. I'm working at Sabrina's salon. I can remember times of Sabrina calling me, wanting me to put Shekinah out the salon, and I'm like, no, Shekinah is my friend. She came to see me. You weren't even here. She was watching everything on the camera. She didn't like Shekinah, but after me and her fell out, she started kind of like going around Shekinah, I guess just to, Sabrina is the kind of person, she liked to show you what she can do, in which Shekinah didn't know that. I'm the kind of person, if me and you cool and friends, if you don't fuck with them, I'm not dealing with you either. I'm just like that. Until you and that person square it off, you know. And Sabrina was basically trying to prove a point to me by going around Shekinah, you know.
So Sabrina calls you, T.I. puts a gun to my head. Was she upset?
She was upset during that time. I can remember she was upset. It was
like I said before, why didn't you file a police report? I believe Sabrina continued. This is what I am freaking talking about, okay? This is what I'm talking about, guys. She continued to be around him. Continued to be around Tiny. After a gun was pulled out on you, okay? You cannot participate in those type of things and then run around acting like you some victim. I said the same thing about Melody Holt. I got a lot of pushback on that, and that's a completely different situation where I said that Melody Holt should not have had that baby, that last baby with Martell. You know that the man is cheating, and you know, You shouldn't have did that. And I had a lot of people come at me, oh, you're victim blaming and shaming. No, you motherfuckers need to start taking care of yourselves. And quit with the always trying to blame other people. There is a part you play. When people betray you, yes, they're wrong for betraying you, but the biggest betrayal of all is you betray yourself because you know who and what that person is and what they represent, and you still keep bringing your ass around. You're still sleeping with them. You're having babies with them. So they think that their behavior is cool. You're enabling them. Okay, I got another video coming out on Melody Holt because she talked to Tasha K as well and got to saying, oh, I'm the one. He don't pay child support. He don't do this. He don't do that. And you're enabling him. And you want to sit up here and act like he's just this bad person. You play a part too. Okay, so let me get back on topic, honey. Sabrina played a part in all of this. She did. I don't care what nobody say. She did. Because you should have called the police. Okay, instead of waiting years later to, she was, to me it seemed like this is all strategic. Like she was waiting to come out with all of this on T.I. and Tiny. This is what I'm getting from, her particular personality.
I can remember the day I was at work and she called me and she told me about it. I think it was winter time, if I'm not mistaken. It was cold.
I didn't find any police reports.
Actually, it was whenever Tiny's daughter's birthday. Okay. It was during that time because Tiny wasn't there. Okay. When this happened. That's why I didn't understand when I heard that she said that she was protecting Tamika from the assistant treating her like a slave. And I'm like, Tamika wasn't even around during that time.
Did y'all hear that? Sabrina Peterson put out there that she beat up the assistant because the assistant was disrespecting Tiny. Right? So she put that out there to the world. And we're hearing what this woman is saying. This woman is saying Tamika wasn't even around during that time. So lies. Do you see what I'm saying? Lies. It all sounded believable though when it came out. It all sounded real. I never really believed Sabrina Peterson. My mind and how I think. I never really fully believed her. I needed more information. I still need more information on this situation because I don't know what happened. But I'm telling you like this. Whoever these people are that they didn't have sex with, to me, some of them knew what they was getting into. I believe that. You going to, T.I. and Tiny's house at night, you're drinking, you popping pills, or whatever the hell y'all doing. Why are you even there if you don't want anything to happen to you? Well, they agreed to be there, but they, no. You can't agree to be somewhere, and then when it goes down, now all of a sudden somebody raped you and drugged you, and you knew what you was doing when you got there. Why were you there anyways? To play footsie? To play patty cake? You was there to have sex. Okay? Period. I don't care what nobody say. You can't put yourself in certain situations and then cry victim. You're not a victim. You're a participant. Period.
So she calls you. She's upset. Sabrina, of course. T.I. put a gun to my head. How long? Because obviously there were still friends after that because Tiny posted a video of...
I am not going to be friends with somebody and their husband that put a gun out on me. Period. She should have been done with them then.
Sabrina having her sons call T.I. That's my uncle. That's Uncle T.I. And this was a recent video. So someone holds a gun to your head, and now you're online screaming about it. What, 15 years later? And
yeah,
that was actually, I think that was been like 13 years ago.
Okay.
Whenever it was right after he got the gun charge.
Okay. Did he ever like apologize to her?
I think she told me she told me later that he was trying to apologize to her, but she wouldn't accept his apology.
But she was still around the family, so how?
Yeah, she was coming. I think she was like dealing with Tamika during the time and not dealing with him. However, and then I think when she started trying to go to their home, that's when she had to interact with him.
Okay. I mean, it throws me off that if someone did hold a gun to your head and it was that tragic, why would you allow your sons to hug all over him?
Come on, Tasha. Come on. Preach.
I don't understand that either. The son came along over the years, so this had already happened. So you have a whole son, you introduce your son to somebody that put a gun in your head and calls him uncle.
You was okay with it, okay? She was okay with, because T.I. and Tiny got fame. They got money, they got clout, and you got people in the world that would put up with bad behavior. They'll put up with it because they want to have the benefits of being around a T.I. and a Tiny. Okay, you can't tell me no different. All these people that be running with Tiny, they want some of T.I. Okay, they want that fame, that clout, that attention. Okay?
That's weird to everybody. I mean, that's something nobody understands.
What? Let's talk about Shekinah, because Shekinah was visibly upset. She went live. The first live she did was hilarious. She was just like, why you ain't tell? Was it you telling everything? Why you ain't tell that you you got girls for? Why you ain't telling that you slept with them? You know what I'm saying? Or you got a crush on Tamika, which is Tiny, and then she came back visibly upset, retracted everything that she had said about Sabrina recruiting girls for T.I. and Tiny. Did Sabrina ever tell you about her having any sort of like intimate relations with T.I. and Tiny over the years?
She would mention about being involved with them, but she never went into details with me about it. The stuff that go on. Like, sometimes she would call me, like, what's that girl name here you did? You got her number? I'm like, yeah. Call her. Let me get her number or call her for me. Like, I would call people. That's what came up when I said to Shekinah, I was like, how's she gonna say that about them? And she used to get girls. Like, I told Shekinah that. At the same time, I understand Shekinah was trying to save her friend.
It didn't help. it didn't help when she came out and confirmed that. It was like, wait a minute, what you doing? Yeah. It's just surprising to me that a man holds a gun to your head 13 years ago and you tell your friends that you are having relations with this man, like having sex.
Well, I think that was before. I think all the sex stuff happened before the gun.
Okay.
Because I don't think I'm about to believe that she went back and tried to lay up with him after the gun situation.
Okay.
I can understand, okay, maybe over the years you're forgiving or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just don't see her going back.
Okay.
I don't know. Shit, I don't know what she would do. You just never know, guys, with people.
It's all so much. So Sabrina, back to I guess on Sabrina. What do you think about everything that she's doing now? She posted about T.I. holding a gun to her head. She tagged Keisha Lance Bottoms. And I'm like, what does Keisha have to do with
Keisha
this?
Lance Bottom wasn't even in office. Didn't know anything about the situation.
Yeah.
Nobody really knew about the situation other than the people that was around her at that time. Because one of our other mutual friends that called me the other day, and she was telling me about it, and she was like, well, really, you know that she's not lying about that happened. I said, I know she's not lying about it, but why come out 13 years later with the story? And then you done been all back around. You done been around to these people, baby shower, when their daughter came along. All that was after the fact. You've been trying to spend the night at these people's house, like, and just being around them. What's all that for?
Why do you think she did it? Just in your personal opinion.
I feel that, like I said, Sabrina is the kind of person that when you allow her to do something and come back around, she's going to come around. She is the person, she see what all she can get away with. And I think that with Tamika knowing about her and the voodoo stuff, I think she was kind of like keeping her close. You know when they say keeping your enemies close?
Voodoo. Y'all should see Tasha K's face. Ooh, Tasha K is a fool.
Voodoo?
Yeah.
What you mean voodoo?
You know what she mean, girl.
She practiced witchcraft.
How you know that?
Shit, she look like she trust me, okay? That girl look like she practiced a little something, okay?
Have you seen her like?
No, she did. Like, she's heavily involved in that.
You seen her practicing spells and stuff before?
She has all kind of matched proportions.
I believe it. Okay, I ain't seen nobody do shit, but something about that in this story, and I believe it.
Potions.
Explain like a situation like where she would, I guess, create a spell.
Every situation. There's money spells. There's love spells. There's a lot of different spells that she's heavily involved with.
That didn't worry you?
I think that fear a lot of people. It bothered me after the fact that we wasn't friends, but I was to the point, okay, like, whatever you're going to do, you can go ahead and do it. I ain't dealing with you no more.
Did she put a spell on T.I. and Tiny?
I'm sure.
Shit, she working her magic right about now. Shit. And, you know, like, they got all these alleged... Have any of you guys seen these victims? I think I've seen a few. And then why would the victims go to Sabrina and contact her on social media? Why wouldn't they go to the police? Okay? All of that. Very suspicious, very weird. We're going to have to do a part 2 of this, you guys. But please, way down in the comments on this situation, honey. Okay? Way down in the comments, honey.
What she did. I can't remember during the time, but she told me after that happened with the gun situation, she said that she was going to handle him in her own way.
And she did, honey. She, you know, shit. She wasn't playing. She really came for T.I., honey. All right.
And right after that, he got arrested. He got a gun charge in L.A.
Well, we need to cut off the cameras and leave Sabrina alone.
I know, honey. Miss Robinson don't want no person. Miss Sabrina Beta took all my Scooby snacks, honey. All my little popcorn and gummy bears, honey. Okay?
No, I'm playing. I ain't scared of no.
I know you ain't, Tasha, because you your own brand of evil too, honey. Okay?
Or witchcraft or nothing like that. But that is different. Because most people, I guess, that practice that don't typically tell you that's what they do. So
yes, they do. Girl, what people you been around? I done been around some people. They admitted to doing this shit. You know, I don't screw with them no more. But yeah, people get to telling you they go that way. It's like, bye, girl. I don't know you.
She buy voodoo dolls. She do it.
Oh, yes.
38 supposed
Ciao. Really quickly, guys, before we end the video and begin on the part 2, I want to see what the people in the comments got to say. Honey, you know we got to hear what the people got to say. All right. So one person says, voodoo or not, each spell comes with a price. It sure does suck to be her. I bet it do, honey. They talking about Miss Sabrina Peterson. Another person says, so Sabrina has extreme attachments to people very quickly. Those are the people that snap out and get Dateline episodes. Yeah, they saying she crazy, honey. She is crazy, okay? Most of these people in these comments, they keep talking about how good Tasha K look. Yeah, she do look good, honey, but that ain't what Miss Robinson want to see, honey, okay? Another person says, so Sabrina out here crying because T.I. put a gun to her head, but she's out here cutting women. Girl, yeah. That's why Tiny called her the face slicing lady. I was like, oh shit, what is going on? Look, what's going on with this? Something over here don't look right, honey. I'm gonna have to get in the middle of this shit, okay? Another person says, the second interviewee, which we have yet to get to, you guys. I'm gonna play her in the part 2. Describes Sabrina as dangerous. Seems like dangerous has many meanings. Her lies, witchcraft, physical abuse, and conspiracies, and so on. Sabrina is toxic. Wow. And a person responded to that person and said, what you described was a dangerous person. What dangerous person you know ain't been toxic? The person comments to that comment and says, dangerous is in a person's mentality. Something is abnormal in her thinking, to say things, to react in violence, to practice dark magic, to harm. That's ill. Toxic behavior is ultimately dangerous. Every sociopath and narcissistic person I know is dangerously toxic. Yeah, they are. They are. It's a lot of people that go around, hurting people, and, they love all of this. They really do, honey, okay? One person says, honey, I am big on energy, and I can't be the only person who felt that toxic and negative energy through their words, and that's powerful as hell. It felt demonic just hearing someone talk about her, so I could not imagine being in her presence. Yeah, sounds like a lot of toxic energy. Another person says, people act like women who act like Sabrina don't exist. Sabrina is erratic and violent. She is vindictive. She seems black-hearted. Yeah. I believe these character witnesses on Sabrina. I believe this whole story was concocted by her. It sure does look like it. The fact that no one has went to the police is weird. They went to her. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, if you legitimately had a case, number one, who waits all these years? Y'all gotta quit with that. And nobody is victim shaming or blaming, but you do not wait in cases of an emergency, honey. And I don't want to hear this shit. Oh, they were so scared. Oh, they would. Nah, you ain't that damn scared, okay? You entered the dungeon. Shout out to Candy, but look, no pun intended, but I'm just saying you was around T.I. and Tiny for a reason, okay? And it wasn't to eat gummy bears and fruit snacks, honey, okay? I'm just saying. Let's see what some more people has to say, honey. Another person says, I'm sure you and Willie know that this Sabrina dibble and dabbles in roots, so make sure you both completely protect yourselves at all costs. I said this from the very beginning, that Sabrina aura was way off. See, somebody else notices it. If anybody knows Dr. Buzzard from Beaufort, South Carolina, he's my great grandfather. Girl, don't nobody care about that. We don't give a damn about that. Okay, so another person says Sabrina tagged Keisha Lance Bottoms in her post because Keisha, mayor of Atlanta, appointed T.I. to the city's crime task force. Sabrina's allegations made T.I.'s involvement questionable and a bad look for Keisha and the city. That is exactly when she came with all these claims, okay? Another person says Sabrina better watch herself because it can all backfire. What do you all think? Do y'all think that T.I. and Tiny are going down? It don't look good, though, that they got a couple of character witnesses, honey, of Sabrina's character, honey, okay? That don't look good. But my thing is this. I'm just so confused about how this is able to pick up such traction if it's all lies that Sabrina has concocted. Like the second witness, you guys are going to, not second witness, but the second lady that claims she used to be a friend of Sabrina, she says that she feels that Sabrina made these people up. You know, so y'all let me know what y'all think about that. But I'm like, if she made them up, what attorney is able to help her with this case if it's not credible? Because a lot of attorneys, they will drop stuff, you know, unless T.I. and Tiny didn't, you know, pissed off a few people, honey. All right. And that's what it looked like, honey. That's just, to me, that's just what it looked like. Like they done pissed off a whole bunch of people because they are allowing Miss Sabrina Peterson to go on and on with these claims, honey. Okay. Another person says, is there anyone else with the feeling that Tasha is campaigning for Clifford Harris and Tamika? The hell with the victims, drag Sabrina and dismiss all the allegations on Clifford and Tamika, I guess. That is exactly what I'm talking about, you guys. There are a lot of people on YouTube that feel like because you don't trust Sabrina, you know, you don't like her, you don't trust her character to be credible, you are instantly on the side of T.I. and Tiny. I'm not on nobody's side, okay? I just feel like if something bad has happened to you, you need to report it when it happens. All of this waiting 7, 8, 10 years, that does not make any sense to me. I don't understand that. Whatever they choose to do in their bedroom, honey, is their business. I'm not into anybody drugging anybody. I don't understand why they would have to do that. But yes, you know, there are celebrities that do that type of stuff. But I don't know what they did. You know, people have to remember there are two sides to a situation. Okay? And some people already don't like T.I. I told y'all I'm a big fan of T.I.'s music. Him as a person, I'm not, you know, because I don't like his narcissistic ways. I don't like how he treats his wife. I also don't like how Tiny allows him to treat her. Okay, I will say that. But other than that, I'm not gonna be, you know, on no trauma shit of my own where, you know, I hate T.I. and Tiny and they are these bad people and they did this. You had some YouTubers reporting it, honey, like they knew it to be true. And why would they do that? Because they already are in that space. Okay, so they are already in that space where, you know, they want to believe something like that because they already don't like them. That's how some people on this platform is, unfortunately. And it's unfortunate that a lot of you all buy into it. It's very unfortunate, but it is what it is. Let's go ahead and do a part 2. That's all I got, you guys, for this part 1 of the video. Keep following this story. I will be following it. Don't forget, guys, to like, comment, and subscribe. I am your girl, brand new, and I will check you guys out in the next video.